All right. The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. John Mark Comer. John Mark Comer is a pastor of a megachurch out in California. I knew nothing about the author before I got this book. I got this book at the suggestion of a book club. And it says, How to Stay Emotionally Healthy and Spiritually Alive in the Chaos of the Modern World. Oh, I cannot express to you how much I loved this book. Do you ever have a book that hits you at the right time? This book hit me at the right time, and it's almost pushing me to put it in the same category as like the transformative books that we know of, like The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I mean, these transformative books. This was one of the most honest. You could tell the author was being just so honest with the way he felt and the lessons that he had learned from a significant change in his life from stepping down in the midst of success, as the worldly term, from the megachurch in order to take care of himself. And the honesty really reveals the best truths, and I have found that in many books. And there was just total humility in his writing, like he had hit rock bottom almost and was just really explaining and describing well the truths that he experienced in that place. So I think maybe it hit me at the right time, but I also think it's just a great, great book. And I want you to read it because I want you to tell me I'm not crazy. But then I went and looked at the Goodreads reviews, and they're like 4.55, one of the best rated books I've read in the last 6 months. So obviously other people think the same thing. There was just something about it. And let me tell y'all, I'm a critic when it comes to this self-help stuff. Like, I've read a bunch of them. I know about mindfulness. I know about surrendering to your environment and being aware of your thoughts. I mean, I've read all those books. But the way he described it just really, and I think it was the relation to our modern technology that made it impactful. The other books are talking about these ideas in metaphysical terms and quantum realm terms. This was just like, here's what's happening today, and it's killing us spiritually. And it has all to do with the iPhones, our attention spans, our dependence on these technologies, and the human significance in all of this. And so, in short, I thought it was great. I'm going to keep it. I would recommend it. I want to share a few things from the book. If you've read the book, some things that stuck out to me. Okay, another thing that I loved was the relationship with Christ. The whole book is very spiritual. So it's if you're a Christian, you're going to really relate to this because he's, again, a lot of people do this. Eckhart Tolle, who's like not Christian, defines Jesus's scriptures in worldly terms in his book, and he's doing the same thing. And I've seen more of that recently, which is very interesting. Basically bringing Jesus' scriptures into today's world. But in short, great book. So I love the study of Christ too in this book and the study of scripture. Whether you're religious or not, from a historical perspective, it's really interesting. Okay, Jesus' iconic line, to live lightly and freely. In other words, Jesus was the happiest person alive. And Carl Jung said it too. Hurry is not of the devil. Hurry is the devil. His message is just Satan Satan is working through distraction. He's no dark power, no smoke and fire that you're going to see. It will be subtle threats to your life through distraction that he shows himself, that pulls your relationship from Jesus or quiet time or solitude or mindfulness through distraction. Well, that is the most evil thing that you can do to a person's soul. So I thought that was a great little illustration. Hurry and love are incompatible. They cannot work together. So you have to choose one. And he says, for many of us, the great danger is not that you will renounce your faith. It's that you'll become so distracted and rushed and preoccupied that you'll settle for a mediocre version of faith. That we'll just skim, I love this line, we will just skim our lives instead of actually living them. Do you feel like you're skimming your life? Sometimes like you're just touching the surface of life, or you're just making it, you're just getting through the day. You wake up and you go, okay, another day. And then you TV, and then you read, all this stuff that you do with distraction. Do you feel like you're just skimming is this it? I thought that was a great illustration because I do that. You get caught up in the hurry and you go, is this it? And you realize there's no depth to your life. That's what's so great in his illustrations here. I love this line: historical circumstances and technology are conspiring to produce a climate within which is difficult not just to think about God or to pray, but simply to have any interior depth whatsoever. Like, because of technology and historically where we are in the year 2023, we cannot think. We do not have silence. And I'll add to that, this was so great. The clock in 1370 was the first time historians point to a regulation in our schedule. It was in Cologne, Germany. The next big advancement was the light bulb by Edison in 1879. Okay, it says the light bulb let people stay up past sunset for the first time ever. But you think about it, you had to go to sleep. Candlelight only gets you so far. So before Edison, an average person slept 11 hours a night. Like, no wonder people got up. He wrote in a book, no wonder people get up at 4 o'clock and pray, because you go to bed at 6 or 7, you sleep 11 hours. What else are you going to do? I thought that was just an awesome statistic. I mean, that was only, less than 200 years ago, that everything in our entire existence for over 2,000 years plus transformed because of that. And it has spiritually just devastated us. A study says just being in the same room as your phone will reduce someone's working memory and problem-solving skills. I thought that was great. There's so much more. I mean, wisdom's born in the quiet and the slow. It makes you wait for it. It's that inner voice. True restfulness, though, is a form of awareness, a way of being in life. I have learned to be content. And then he gives a great chart of antithesis. I don't know if I have it in here. I don't have the page mark, but there's a chart in here that, hurry. He gives the antithesis of all the horrible things. Anxiety, the opposite of anxiety is peace. The opposite of hurry is slowness. The opposite of distraction is mindfulness. And so he basically, 12, 13 things. When you find yourself doing these things that are not the correct things, anxiety, hurry, distraction, catch yourself and do the antithesis of that. And keep the chart posted somewhere is what I'm going to do. And remind myself, here's what we should do. Instead of anger, have peace. Instead of frustration, have joy. And use that. So that was a great illustration too. I'm going to tell you, really great book. I didn't expect it. A lot of these Christian authors are pie in the sky, motivation, blah, blah, blah. And also it comes across to me as dishonest and not written with total humility. This one just was like, this guy laid it all out there. And I don't know. And again, maybe it's not that great and it just hit me at the right time. But you pick it up. You be the judge. I thought it was great. The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer.